Hello guys, welcome to the third episode of my how-to series. Today we're going to be talking about consistency and how you can be more consistent in game. So the first thing we're going to talk about is what is consistency. And personally I define consistency in CSGO by two things. The first thing being consistency in aim and the second thing being consistency in positioning. When it comes to consistency in aim, it's pretty straightforward. It's just hitting your shots from day to day and making sure that you're sticking to your routine and you're sticking to, how you choose to warm up. So, like I said, your routine. But when it comes to positioning, that's where it's a bit more tricky. That goes down to experience, game sense, map awareness. It's just that comes with a lot of playing and a lot of time spent on the game. But what I mean in just general is knowing where you play on a map and knowing how you play on that map. So let's just say Dust Too Short. You need to know how to play. Like, are you going to be holding sight? Are you going to be holding ramp? Are you going to be holding towards CT? Are you going to be cross? You're going to be car, goose. You're going to need to know where you're going to be, and you can need to anticipate how the enemies are going to go. So just for a quick example, if they do this every round, you're better off not playing on site, because if you play on site while that mod is there, you're just going to die very, very quickly. So it's kind of just adapting to how they play, and that's how I define consistency. Is just like I said, by consistency in aim and also consistency in your positioning and learning how you play to position and how they play. So now we're talking about what you can do to help stay more consistent. The first thing is making sure you've got a routine. So when you come on CSGO, what's the very first thing you're going to do? Like, mine is the bot maps and just making sure that I'm warmed up ready to go against live opponents and deathmatch and things like that. Just make sure you've got a routine set in place and just make sure you do it every day. If you've got work and things, just kind of fit it in around when you can do it. But just try and make sure that you're doing it as much as you possibly can, because it does help. But what I do see is that I do see a lot of people come to me and ask me, like, one day I'm getting 40 kills, the next day I'm only getting 10. Like, why is this? Like, why is this happening? And I'll always tell them the same thing. And that's mainly because of their inexperience. I'd say up until about a year. Once you've been playing about a year, that's when you start to see yourself become more consistent and you start getting 20 to 30 kills a game, that kind of thing. But you need to make sure that you're doing your aim training, and you also need to make sure that when you go onto a map, you need to call what position you're going to be playing, and then you need to go and play that position. You need to play it every single game. So if you want to be the short player, you need to learn how to play short. You need to learn your flashes, the ones off the walls. You need to learn your molotovs. You need to learn your smoke. So if you're playing sight, you can just drop one there to give you a bit of cover so you can peek around the smoke. You need to be learning that kind of thing. You need to be learning a set play to defend. And that will help a lot with consistency, just purely because if you've got something that you're doing consistently, then you're going to get better at it, and it's going to become easier and easier for you to do. So if you've got, say, if they're rushing fast, if you've got, like, I don't know, 2 flashbangs that you're going to be throwing to kind of help you peek and then peek out, and if you're doing that, if you do it a lot, when you come up against people you haven't played against before, they're not going to be expecting that kind of flash play, so you'll have a massive advantage doing that. So once again, that'll help you get them more kills. But the main thing is your aim. You need to be kind of doing your deathmatching, you need to be doing your warm-ups, you need to be that kind of thing. And if you do have a game where you're getting 40 kills, you do it consistently through a day, and then the next day you're not playing so great, you feel like you're playing really bad, just stop playing for a couple of hours. Go into a deathmatch and just spend half an hour, 45 minutes, or even an hour if you want to, just deathmatching, just trying to get your aim back to where it was. Because it might be that you rushed your training a little bit. It might be that you missed something important out of your training that you normally do, and then that could be a defining factor of why you're not playing as well as you were today than what you were yesterday. The next thing about consistency, which is I think something that quite a lot of people overlook, is their opponent. Let's just say you're playing ESCA. ESCA is a fairly good system. You know, it's not the best. I don't particularly play it that much. I don't think it's the best system you can play. I do prefer Face It over to ESCA over ESCA. But anyway, let's just say you're playing ESCA, for example. I've seen it before where you know, A players can be playing against D players, or vice versa, and D players come up against A players. Let's just say you are an actual person who is skilled in D, and you know, you're just starting to get used to ESEA, you're just starting to, you know, get used to the clientele and the players you're playing against. Let's just say you're not, you know, an A+ player or a contender for, is it rank G now, I think, or something. Let's just use that as an example. If you're a D player and you're playing against the A's, you're going to find it a lot harder because they're a lot more experienced, they've got better aim than you, they've got better map knowledge, they've got better teamwork skills, they've got, you know, everything they can do is better than yours, better than what you can do. So you're going to get stomped on. And that's nothing to do with consistency, that's just down to you playing against people who are 10 times better than you. But if you flip it around and you're an A player and you're playing against D players, you're going to stomp them. You're going to guaranteed stomp them. It might be 16-0, it might be 16-1, 16-2. But either way, you're going to stomp them, and then there, you've got the ability to get that 30, 40 kills. And you do that 2 games in a row, and then you go off, you say, oh, this has been a good day. You know, I've played 2 games, that's what I'm going to play for today, so I've got work in the morning. And you're going to go off thinking, shit, I had a really good game, I had a really good day today. And then you'll come on tomorrow, and then you'll be playing, instead of playing your D players, you're playing against other A's. And then, you know, they might be better than you this time. And then you'll only get maybe 10 kills. Then you'll be like, oh shit, I was loads better yesterday. But in reality, you weren't. You were just playing against worse people. And that's what a lot of people seem to skip over, is the fact that one day you could be playing globals, the next day you could be playing DMGs. You know, it's one of them things that you need to kind of think about while you're playing. If you beat a team 16-0 in, say, an ESCA pug, odds are they're not going to be the best people, because they've either got really poor teamwork or they've got really poor aim and just individual ability is not very good. But then you could go into the next game and then you could be playing against A players who teamwork is going to be far, far, far better than what you were just playing against. So, like I just said, it's not always you. It can also be the enemies that you're playing against. So if you have a really good day and then a really bad day, just take into consideration that it might not be something that you're doing wrong. It could just be, you know, the opponents are a lot more skilled than you and a lot more experienced.